Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So the CAT 2024 MBA entrance examination has done, and today with this video we are going to discuss about the normalization process for the CAT score. So basically the CAT entrance examination is conducted in 3 slots: slot 1, slot 2 and slot 3. Here if we take the example of the CAT 2024 MBA entrance examination, then in that the slot 1 is considered as the easy slot if we compared it with the CAT 2024 MBA entrance examination slot 2 and slot 3. And that is the reason, to maintain the equality, to maintain the transparency among all the students, the normalization process for the CAT score is done. So initially the raw score is calculated. Raw score is the score which is calculated initially on the basis of the attempted question, which are the correct questions and which are the incorrect questions. On that basis the raw score is calculated, and then the normalization process is done, and then the scaled CAT score is calculated. So how the scaled CAT score is calculated, that we are going to discuss. So at the very first stage, the standard deviation and the mean for the raw scores obtained by the candidates of slot 1 is done. Then if we consider the step 2, in that next the standard deviation and mean for the slot 2 candidates is calculated from the raw scores. Then if we consider the step 3, it involves the calculation of scaled scores using the raw scores of slot 3 through standard deviation and mean. Then if we consider the step 4, finally, the mean and standard deviation of the raw scores of all the CAT aspirants appearing in all the 3 slots is calculated. Then if we consider the next step, in that top 0.1% of the candidates in slot 1 is taken for calculation of mean for first slot. Then if we consider the next step, in that the top 0.1% of the candidates in slot 2 is taken for calculation of mean for the second slot. Then if we consider the next step, in that the top 0.1% of the candidates in slot 3 is taken for calculation of mean for the third slot. Now if we consider the next step, then in that the mean scores of the top 0.1% of the CAT test takers for all the 3 sections is calculated, and using the following formula the scaled score is calculated for each slot. Then if we consider the last step, in that final overall score is calculated, which will be the sum of the scaled score in data interpretation and logical reasoning, scaled score in quantitative ability section and scaled score in verbal ability and reading comprehension section. And in this way the CAT scaled score is calculated. So this is all about the normalization process for the CAT score, and in this way the scaled CAT score is calculated. Now if we consider the marks versus percentile for the MBA CAT entrance examination 2024, then in that, coming to the overall difficulty for the CAT 2024, then if we consider the slot 1, in that verbal ability and reading comprehension section consists of 7 to 8 easy questions. Then there were 12 to 13 moderate difficulty level questions, and 4 questions were the difficult questions. Then coming to the next section is DILR, data interpretation and logical reasoning. In that 2 easy sets were over there and 3 moderate sets were over there. If we consider the quantitative ability section, then in that 8 to 9 questions were the easy questions, 9 to 10 questions were the moderate difficulty level questions, and 5 questions were the difficult questions. If we consider the analysis for the slot 2, then in that, if we consider the verbal ability and reading comprehension, in that 10 questions were the easy questions, 10 questions were the moderate level difficulty questions, and 4 questions were the difficult questions. Then if we consider the DILR, in that 3 moderate sets were over there and 2 slightly difficult sets were over there. If we consider the quantitative ability section, in that 5 easy questions were over there, 10 questions were the moderate difficulty level questions, and 5 questions were the difficult questions. If we consider the analysis for the slot 3, then in that verbal ability and reading comprehension section consists of 9 to 10 easy questions. There were 4 to 5 moderate level difficulty questions and 6 to 7 difficult questions. If we consider the data interpretation and logical reasoning, then in that 5 questions are easy overall and 10 questions are moderate and 7 questions are on a difficult level. Then if we consider the quantitative ability section, then in that 9 to 10 questions are easy, 7 to 8 questions are moderate and 3 to 4 questions are moderate but lengthy questions calculation wise. So this is the overall difficulty level for the CAT 2024 entrance examination for slot 1, slot 2 and slot 3. Now coming to the CAT 2024 score versus percentile for slot 1, 2 and 3. So if we consider the slot 1 score, if it is 150, then it can be considered as the 100 percentile. If it is 97, it is 99.5 percentile. If your CAT score is 91, then it is 99 percentile. Then if your slot 1 CAT 2024 score is 80, then it is 98 percentile. Then if it is 67, it can be expected as 95 percentile. If your score is 55, it can be expected as 90 percentile. If your slot 1 CAT 2024 score is 46, it can be expected as 85 percentile. And if it is 40, it can be expected as 80 percentile. Then if we consider the slot 2 score, if it is 140, then it can be expected as 100 percentile. If it is 95, it can be expected as 99.5 percentile. If it is 85, it can be expected as 99 percentile. Then if your CAT 2024 score is 74, it can be expected as 98 percentile. If it is 62, it can be 95 percentile. Then if your CAT 2024 score is 50, it can be expected as 90 percentile. If it is 41, it is 85 percentile. If it is 35, it can be expected as 80 percentile. Then if we consider the overall scores for the slot 3 CAT 2024 entrance examination, then if your score is 140, for that we can expect the percentile up to 100 percentile. Then if it is 96, it can be expected as 99.5 percentile. If your CAT score is 88, it can be expected as 99 percentile. If it is 77, it can be expected as 98 percentile. If your CAT score is 65, it can be expected as 95 percentile. If it is 53, it can be expected as 90 percentile. If it is 44, it can be expected as 85 percentile. And if it is 38, it can be expected as 80 percentile. So this is all about the scale CAT score and the score versus percentile for the CAT 2024 MBA entrance examination. If you have any doubts, any queries in this, you can just let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video.